right, this one is on. Right. Action.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Table Talk here at Nutrex. My name's Shawn Ambrosino. I am here with a couple legends of the industry. First, we have Lee Probst. He is the head of North American Business Development here at Nutrex. And then we have the golden child, the man of the hour, the founder of Inspired Nutra, the new marketing director, Chris Waldrum.
Let's go.
Let's go.
That was
LFG.
LFG.
Yeah, I gotta cut out the F. I'm trying to clean up my my word choices.
No, don't do it. Don't do it at all.
I just wanted to talk to you guys today about, just some of the history of you guys and how you guys got in the industry. So we'll just start with Lee, and I want to know when and how you got into the supplement industry.
Sure, that's a great question, Shawn. So, it of course it goes back to fitness and all of that, and I will start with a long story. Yeah, right. Let's just get it out of the way. I talk a lot. Honestly, been into fitness my whole life, but really the getting into the industry, goes back to probably that 2001 era where bodybuilding.com came on board. Nobody really knew about like online sales and stuff like that, and like literally we're buying stuff off of bodybuilding.com on deal and then reselling it to our friends at Florida State, things like that. But then my real entry into the industry, after kind of hustling and even did like a network marketing company and things like that, was I got with BSN in the early days. I'm one of the early guys at BSN. This is like 2005. I came on right as we had signed Ronnie Coleman. I was there for when Ronnie won number 8 in the crowd with him. It was phenomenal, and rode that out for a number of years, and then ended up leaving after they sold. Went actually with Ronnie and his partner and helped start the Ronnie Coleman Signature Series. That's still around. Spent a little over 6 years with them, and then left that to do a great gym called Temple Martial Arts and Fitness that I'm thankful that Shawn is a part of. So we got that great gym and kind of stayed around in the industry, and then anyway, after some other great adventures, if you will, ended up with a great opportunity to come on board at Nutrex and start recharging things for the U.S. So it also kind of gives you some history and brings you to why I'm here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I knew a lot of this history, but what I don't know is I don't know any of your history. How you got started, how this happened. Tell us about how Chris Waldrum became the Chris Waldrum.
I'm gonna try to condense it like Lee did.
Yeah,
because was
that good?
That was solid. That was really solid. For everybody out there, that was at least 10 hours of conversation condensed into a very small time frame. Man, same kind of journey. It's so funny. I think a lot of people got really introduced to this industry when it was like in its genesis stage in the early 2000s, because that was with me right out of high school. Went to college, worked at GNC, dropped out of college to work more at GNC because I became a manager, and that was my first introduction, and that was like 2003, 2004. So, at a young age like that, everything's like shiny, everything's just incredible to you. I got to meet like Flex Wheeler and all my idols, and it was just this like dream come true. After that, worked for a smaller chain, an independent chain, as an area manager for 2 years, and then I was picked up by Dymatize, and that was my first like real introduction of the back end of the industry that you never really see. Working at a storefront's cool because you get this overall broad top level view, but you don't get to see like the ins and out and the mechanisms. So starting at Dymatize, I was 25 years old, and at that time like all the reps were like mid 30s or 40s and whatnot. So I was a super young guy, and obviously a lot of people were like, why the fuck did this guy get the job? Like, there's so many other capable people. I didn't have any sales experience or anything, but spent 3 years there. During that 3 years, just learned everything. Got to meet all my dream figures that I idolized. Got to go to expos, travel around, and all the cool shit that we get to do when you're a rep. And my third year there, literally almost to the day in September, I quit to start a company called Inspired Nutraceuticals, and that was late 2013. So started Inspired. That was my company, my bread and butter, my dream. Like, same thing, Lee, you've had a couple companies and whatnot, but you go off to follow a pipe dream and follow your vision because you're confident and, ambitious, and did that for 8 years. And I just signed the papers on Black Friday last year, which was just such a weird like irony to it. Like signing the papers this Friday, I remember, because I was like somewhat depressed that I was doing it, but excited because I knew that there's future opportunities.
Right.
And I've been into design for a long time. I've had fun with it, so I started to pursue that and get design clients within and outside of our industry. And Nutrex approached me. It started with the DM, slid into my DMs, asked me if I'd be interested, and I remember it was Felix who works here via Manny, using, because Manny was too much of a wimp to say anything.
Yes.
He asked Felix, you know what I mean? Like, hey, could you? He's like, try it, like his wingman or something.
Right,
Hey, reach it. Anyways, Felix reached out, and I saw he worked for Nutrex. I was like, okay. And he's like, hey, man, would you ever be interested in having a discussion to do a design for Nutrex? I remember I stopped. I was like, holy shit. I showed my wife. I was like, Nutrex just reached out. I was so amped up. It was the biggest kind of flattery compliment to me. Because I've been, I've known about Nutrex for the whole 20 years, basically.
Yeah, right.
Since the beginning days. And, with Dennis Wolf and everybody they had, it was like, that was my introduction into the industry. So that was just, one of the biggest kind of confidence boosters for me. And we started on the design. That's when I met Lee, because at that time he was doing everything for the company pretty much. As far as like scheduling with the design, helping come with the brand identity and the vision. And a couple months went into it, we finally got this really cool image that everybody's just going to be thrilled about because it looks freaking awesome. And months into it, Jens had a call with me. Jens is the owner of Nutrex, and offered me a position. Said it was going to be part-time. Hey Chris, we know you're busy, you got other things, but if you could do this part-time, turns out to be 12 hours a day regardless what the situation.
That's part-time. That is part-time.
Yeah, that is a part-time. I was like, I could do this part-time and still manage my clients. And now it's been 2 months. This past Monday the 15th was 2 months with the company. Never looked back, guys. I mean, we got something that nobody else has. We have the people, and that is more important than anything else out there. The community that you have in the company are just solid-ass people, and now we're here at the table talking, and you're about to raise the pin up, so let's go.
So I had other questions, but
that answered all of them.
We kind of answered all of them.
You guys kind of answered
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. So we know Nutrex has a 20-year-long legacy.
Yeah.
They've been around longer than most companies have even thought about being around. What do you think it is about Nutrex that keeps it having that staying power?
That's a good question. I mean, I think it is the legacy. I think, being starting at such a key moment in the industry is really played into it. Coming from, at that time being with BSN and a competitor, Nutrex was right there with us. I tell the stories of, the bodybuilding.com awards and things like that were going on back in the day where, BSN's winning for pre-workout of the year and Nutrex is winning for fat burner of the year. I think, there was such a good foundation that was laid then, and especially on the harder core bodybuilding side of things, because it was edgier. You had the edgier athletes and the edgier products. You had the first to market with the liquid capsule technology and things like that. So I think that it's been that baseline that got established that has helped Nutrex maintain until today.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
If I think about Nutrex, Nutrex was the first company that literally created hardcore. There wasn't anything that was super hardcore, because BSN really, they were, because they obviously got Coleman, but Nutrex was the first one that looked like a clinical pharmaceutical hardcore stuff. And if you look at the products back then, they kind of sounded like gray market stuff, and they had a lot of innovation. But it's so funny though, you say legacy, because it's imprinted into the DNA of the industry. So to me it's just infinite. Nutrex is infinite, which is a good and a bad thing, right? We could exist for forever, but to really excel,
right,
that's why everybody is here in the room to make it happen. But you're right, dude. Nutrex, BSN, there's literally just a handful of brands that will be immortal, that lives on forever.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think that's really what it is. I mean, and you look back on it, because I was very fond of Nutrex. I knew a lot of the reps that were here at the company. Like the cool thing within this industry is you've seen too. Everybody. You know everybody. It's a huge industry, but everybody kind of knows each other, right? And so there's that piece to it. And anyway, you fast forward to today, and what you need to do to stay. You got to do the things to stay relevant, and that's what we're doing. That's why Chris and I are here, is to not only stay relevant, but to now push the envelope and to innovate, right?
Innovate, yeah. Innovation's key in anything. I mean, and of course, growth isn't easy, right? It's like, if you're going to grow, you got to do it outside of your comfort zone, which is kind of what's been happening over the last couple months. It's been a little uncomfortable as we map out the future of the direction of the company. If there's one thing, let's not even say that. Let's not talk about one thing. What are you excited most about the future? Of what we have down the line? Like we're not going to reveal anything because we got some stuff in our back pocket. But what are you looking forward to most?
Man, I mean, certainly the new products. Like, I'm stoked on Chris and Felix coming together. We've got great formulators, and I'm stoked on the new products, new innovative products. More some newer novel ingredients and things like that. But also the new look, like really updating the look of the brand, and then having a very cohesive look, because we kind of got away from a cohesive look to across the board. So I'm excited about that. And for me, in North America, I'm excited about really ramping things up with the end consumers, and letting this new generation that really maybe doesn't know us, or maybe just kind of heard of us, really introducing them to the market, and really getting back on the retail side of things too, and winning in that the retail store environment. We've got a lot of good things planned for our retailers, our current retailers, and new retailers that we have our sights on. So those are some of the things that I think I'm personally excited about.
Yeah, I mean, everything that Lee said, like, I'm stoked, because we're at really a precipice where Nutrex has been very successful, and it is a successful company, but we haven't modernized, and now we're in that process of going through a very uncomfortable evolution, and that excites me because it comes up with a million different challenges, and like our conversations with retail, international, DTC, Amazon, all those outlets, figuring out different pathways to success that we haven't really looked at prior to it. So we're in the developmental stage, really. It's really, Nutrex has such a big foundation, but we're taking that and then just magnifying it, exponentially. So I'm most excited for the fucking challenge, and because we have such a dope team that is extremely capable to do it, that if we do everything we're supposed to, like we're going to do, because I'm very confident about that, I mean, people are they're gonna break necks when they see what the hell we have coming.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I'm excited about the team. I mean, I do plenty of individual sports and things like that, but when it comes to work and when it comes to building a brand, you have to have a team. I've been a part of some other major teams, some that I mentioned, and some other major teams, and what I've seen as the key to success has been the team that you have. And right now we've got a really solid team. There's still a couple pieces that I think we could fit in, but I mean, we've got a very good, solid team right now that we can build on. And honestly, like, I mean, I've been brought on with 7 months now. You're right at 2. You're just in between that, basically, right? So we're the new generation, but it was like that was some of the things that we were missing. Like, I came on and we had a team, but we were kind of spread a little too thin. So it was like, okay, bring on Shawn to help out with content and things of that nature, and other marketing initiatives. We started talking to you and started doing the branding, but we kind of needed you in-house, and now we have that, and now, like, it's like, okay, this is the core of the team.
All the puzzle pieces coming together.
And then you have people that aren't here, but like, your Manny and your Felix and Caitlin in operations and all that, and then on the customer service side and all in the athlete management side, the guys like Jeff and Liam, and Daryl on the brick and mortar side, Kenny out on the road. Like, we've got a good, solid team.
Dude, massive team, massive warehouse. I mean, Nutrex could be the biggest sports nutrition brand out there, and that's our freaking goal. We're not here to do small apples crap, man. Here to FSU.
Yeah.
Let's freaking go.
Let's freaking go.
I love the acronyms. I love it.
So I think we're running a little bit, towards the end of where we're going. So I wanted to ask you guys, one thing each, as far as for the people who have kind of gravitated away from the brand. What would you tell them now to kind of bring them back around?
Wanna go with that one?
We're back, baby. No. We're back, motherfucker. Yeah, so we're identifying what made Nutrex successful, and throughout the years, it's really, especially when you're around for 20 years, it's very difficult to stay focused on what made you successful. You get on tangents, you get off the path, and you explore other opportunities that turn out not to be very successful ones. We're going back to the basics, back to straight innovation, back to the customer experience, and now the company is really built to create that community of the customer experience, to give people the best products, the best tasting products that make them feel good, that fucking work. So we're going back to the basics, baby. It's like square one. We're building back. Build back better. Wait, is that Biden? No, never mind. Somebody else.
Somebody else. Oh, you just wrote it. We gotta cut that out. Cut that out, Manny. Make a note.
Applaud.
That's all right. It's a decent saying, but yeah, I mean, I agree with Chris, and it's like put the reminder out to people that we're still here. Like there's something to be said about that too. Like, hey, we're still here, but we've got a lot of new stuff that's coming for you, and our products, the products, the quality, and all that always have spoke for themselves, and so it's just about letting everybody know that we have been here, we're still here, we're going to be here with you, we're going to help you on your fitness journey, whatever that journey is, and then we're going to continue to introduce products to the new generation. So for somebody like me that's on the older side, probably being like 45, but you're trying to introduce now to that younger generation in their 20s, and we really have something for that younger generation, and we'll show you how our products can help you reach those goals that you're looking for. If you're a 20-something-year-old bodybuilder athlete, fitness athlete, combat sports athlete, what have you, pickleball player, I know you're playing pickleball these days.
Sport, bro.
So
it's funny is I've always been a supplement user. Proteins, not really pre-workouts, but proteins and
recovery and
all that good stuff. But what I was surprised, I shouldn't have been surprised, but what I was, what really drew me here, or not drew me here, but really made me go, wow, when I came on to Nutrex, was the quality of the products. It's crazy when you think about what kind of crap is really out there these days, and it's like, I literally watched a video of a guy mixing stuff like illegally and mixing it in his house with a blender, and then
selling it.
It's like no, but the quality of the stuff here to me is just it's amazing, and the process by which we figure out, all right, how do we make this better? Like it doesn't stop. The improvement process doesn't stop, which I love. So that's what I would tell somebody is, look, quality products that we're looking to continually make better.
Yeah.
That's what I think is, bottom line is, without that, there is no Nutrex. If you don't have quality products, you might as well pack up and head home.
Yeah. Well, it all starts and ends with the product.
Yeah.
So, and the products have to perform. I mean, that's like first and foremost. So our products do perform, and they're only going to perform better. And to your point, like we're constantly making improvements. Some of the current products that we have some new formulas planned for. Some of these new versions and all that are really going to start to blow people away. Let alone the truly brand new products that we're introducing into the product mix.
That's it. Yeah. So for everybody out there, if you know the owner, he is very adamant on using the best manufacturers with the most stringent guidelines according to the FDA. So all of our products are literally as good as you can get on the market. That is something good to touch that I always forget about. I'm like, innovation, dope stuff. Yeah, we're having excitement. But no, you're right. I mean, quality over everything else. We do everything by the book. And we got the shit quality, babe.
What about following? Where do you want people to follow your social media? Anywhere? You want to put that out there?
Yeah. I'm already popular enough, guys. You can
find him, Chris Waldrum.
You can find me just lurking around somewhere, trolling on somebody's page.
Get on the gram. Get on the gram. I mean, I say just keep following us on Nutrex. We're going to keep building our social media, profile across the board. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but now YouTube. We're using this as a new gateway into YouTube. So we're going to start to have some more of these podcasts that we start to do, and just giving everybody a peek behind the curtain of what's going on at Nutrex.
Yeah, we want to know you guys. We want you to know us, and that's so important to see the face behind the brand. The faces behind the brand, because we have such an awesome team that it's a great community. And I think once people get an introduction to us, it'll be a lot easier for them to see that we really do care about what we're doing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
and we're going to do a lot more of these as the new product launches come around. Giving people some a preview and things of that nature.
Yeah, totally. We'll break down the products. We'll do some really cool stuff where Chris and I break down the products. What the ingredients actually are, what they're going to do for you. The features and benefits, obviously. So a lot of good stuff to come, and then just some fun stuff. We're just keep getting back to having fun. I mean, at the end of the day, we want to have fun, and we are a fun brand, and we're having a good time. And we'll take everybody along the ride with us.
Yeah, and I'll just sit here and look pretty because that's what I do.
Yeah,
that's his main job title. If you go to his door, it says Mr. Pretty.
Mr. Pretty.
Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me for Tabletop here. Tabletop.
Is that what we're going to do?
On this podcast.
Tabletop talk.
Table Talk here at Nutrex. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
And look for some updates coming soon.
Love you guys. Let's go.
Thank you.